All right, welcome everyone to the genre reveal day. Oh boy, I'm gonna get rid of this thing right in front of here. All right, there we go. So last night, I went and I actually pre-recorded this whole program for you guys, because there's so much work that goes into pulling these genres. Because I have a separate program, I have to keep putting in everyone's genre picks. And then randomize it in like a little spinning wheel. So you'll see that today. The other thing is, for everyone out there, welcome, by the way, to the Karaoke World Championships Keep on Singing Championship Finals training program. So what we did is, when the singers signed up for with their national finals and national trials songs, they actually had a piece that said, please choose your genres that you would like to work on and keep on singing. And there was a list of them. And then they could also go in and hit other. And then the other button, they can actually go and put other genres in there as well, which some did. And there were some great genre pieces in there. However, someone also just put a band out there, and a band isn't a genre. We would possibly consider if it was like Beatles or something like that, because it's such a huge collection, but it's really hard to top that. So we did take that out of there. But this is going to be a lot of fun. There was a small snafu, of course, because when you work overnight and do things like this, things happen. And one of the things is, I forgot to separate. So we have one genre that's all together when you guys chose it. And that was operas, arias, Broadway, and musicals. I separated them by mistake. That is my bad. However, if you chose that genre, you have 2 chances to get it this week. Next week, it'll be changed back to the other way. And next week, we'll be doing a different way of picking those genres. So if you get opera and you chose it for Broadway and musicals, don't worry, you can still do that. If you chose it for arias and you get Broadway, then yeah, you can still do Broadway. You can still do musicals. If you got Broadway, you can still do opera. So those are still going to be together, even though they're shown separately. But this has been a lot of fun. And seriously, I want to thank all the singers this week. You've all worked so hard. The videos that came in, I cannot wait for Tuesday. Right now, all the judges and coaches are judging. So, and the one thing is, all those videos went from being like, all right, I need it horizontal, and someone drank out there, to being mind-blowing. Like every single one of them, that you guys all stepped up your game, not only in production standards, but even vocally. I saw so much improvement. Everyone's gotten so much. Hello, Miriam. You're welcome, Miranda. Yeah, I messed that up. So and yeah, Kareem's like, I can do opera and arias. I didn't want to switch it too much. And this originally was going to be shown on Tuesday. So I know a lot of you were surprised because you're like, wait, I knew I was going to get my genres today, but I didn't know we were going to be doing this live. Well, yeah, that's what happens when Josh is sleep deprived and is working on something and gets all of his deadlines mixed up. So yeah, we are going to make sure that doesn't happen. I don't like being inconsistent, guys. But however, thank you for being on your toes. And thank you for working with your coaches. Your coaches worked so hard this week and worked with so many of you. And I know sometimes when you're trying to get in touch with your coaches, they're in with other singers or they're at their jobs or they're in a meeting because they also have other, it's a lot of work. And thank you all. And thank you for taking out your time to really get with your coach and really get these songs worked on for this week. Because this week was really, I mean, I know we're cutting 2 people this Tuesday off each team, but part of it is the work that you put in. You do it around your time. We don't want to be like, oh, I know you're working, but you're coaching with me now. No, that's not the way it works. We don't want that. We don't want to stress you out. This is a positive thing. And it's stressful enough to try to perfect your song and to think about what outfits and what backdrop and everything else. So, and you're welcome, Kareen. Kareen said, thank you for being honest and transparent. And the thing is that we're human. Our production staff that's usually like way bigger this year has shrunk down to just a few of us. So it's also a lot of it's all up here for me. And I know I should write things down more. And Katie has a lot of those notes, but Katie works at night. So sometimes I jump the gun like this. So anyhow, are you guys ready for the genre reveal? Are you guys excited for this piece? I am super, super, super excited. If you look at the bottom where it's scrolling to, it will also remind you that if you got the genre of opera arias, or if you got the genre of Broadway musicals, you can actually jump back and forth to any of those because those were all together. And that was something that our past judges and Keep On Singing were like, hey, can we do this? Because a lot of people want to do Broadway, but they also have this opera piece and they can all really go together. That way we don't hear it too many times. So, all right, you guys are ready. James said no. Okay, well, fine, James. Be like that. I'm going to lock into this window really quick. Let's see, make sure my audio is shared. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. Look at that. All right, here we go. You guys enjoy. If you have questions, I will be answering throughout the show because this is a pre-recorded thing from last night and edited down to save a lot of time. Enjoy. Here is the genre reveal week for second. Yeah, see, this is how much I don't have sleep. All right, enjoy the show. Welcome to the genre pick, everyone. We're going to do this by teams. We're going to start off with Team Michael, and then we're going to move on to Team Miriam, and then Team Chris, and then Team Tommy. So what's going to happen is we're going to shuffle all the genres that you guys submitted. You had to submit a minimum of 6 genres to choose from. Some of you chose 6, some of you chose 8. Some of you wrote in also genres. The only time we threw out a genre was when you just put a band. A band is not a genre. So what we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. I'm just going to show you the wheel right over here. That's what the wheel looks like. We're going to have genres, and we're just going to spin it really quick. And that way you will see what your genre for week 2 is going to be. So when you get your genre, you're going to get with your coach, and you're going to have about 24 hours to choose your song from that genre. So when you chose these genres, I hope you were thinking about songs that you already knew in these genres, because this is the genres that you're going to sing for week 2. And then in week 3, we're going to do this all over again, minus the genre that you ended up with. So let's start. In fact, we're going to start with Team Michael. All right, so now we are spinning the wheel for Jeremy Chapa. Jeremy gave us these genres to choose from: the 1990s, R&B and hip hop, opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, country, movie soundtrack and TV themes, and the 1980s. Let's spin and see what Jeremy is going to end up with for his week 2 genre. Broadway and musicals. I haven't heard anything yet from him that is Broadway and musical. So yes, Jeremy Chapa, you got Broadway and musicals. All right, so the next singer that we're picking the genre for is Trinity Starr. And this is what Trinity turned in for her genres to choose from: the 1990s, R&B and hip hop, country, 1980s, classic rock, and jazz and blues. Let's see what she's going to end up with for her week 2 song. Trinity Starr, you're going to be picking a song that is in the jazz and blues genre. All right, so the next singer that we are spinning for week 2 genre piece is Grant Cullum, and this is what he registered. He registered with the 2000s, the 1990s, the 1970s, music legends and rock and roll hall of fame, jazz and blues, or R&B and hip hop. Let's spin it and see what he ends up with for week 2. Grant, you got R&B and hip hop. You got a big catalog to choose from. You're going to have 24 hours to choose that with your coach. All right, so our next singer that we are spinning for is David Harrison, and these are the genres that he picked for us to choose from. Is he going to get something from the R&B and hip hop genre? Is he going to get jazz and blues? Is he going to get the Grammys, the Greatest American Songbook, the 1960s, or gospel? Let's spin and find out. Here we go. Come on, David Harrison. Come on, big money. Come on, big money. David Harrison, you ended up with R&B and hip hop. Anything from that genre. The next singer that we're spinning for is Holly Smelson. These are the genres she chose for us to pick from: opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, classic rock, the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1990s, and blue-eyed soul. We're going to spin and see what she ends up with for week number 2. Here we go. Holly, you got songs from the 1970s. All right, giant collection right there. Good luck choosing a song. All right, our next singer that we are spinning for is Sammy Payne. These are what we're choosing from. It's 1990s, opera and arias, Broadway musicals, R&B and hip hop, country, movie soundtrack and TV themes, and the Great American Songbook. Here we go. We're going to spin and find out what she is going to sing for week 2. Sammy, you're going to sing a song from the Great American Songbook. The next person we're going to spin for is Ishma Clark. These are the genres that he submitted that we are going to spin on our wheel to find out what he ends up singing in week 2. Is it going to be country? Is it going to be jazz and blues? Is it going to be R&B and hip hop? Is it going to be the 2000s? Is it going to be classic rock? Or is it going to be 1990s? Let's spin and find out. Ishma, you got the 1990s. Way to go there. All right, next we're going to go to Team Miriam. Next singer we're playing for is Luis Orozco. So Luis gave us these following genres: classic rock, music legends and rock and roll hall of fame, 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, and Spanish music stemming from rock, blues, mariachi, pop, and urban. Here we go. We're going to spin it for week 2. Whoa! Surprise, surprise. Luis ended up getting some Spanish music, so he gets to choose Spanish music in the style of either rock, blues, mariachi, pop, and urban folk. So good job, Luis, and can't wait to see what you came up with. Kenny Miller is the next person we are spinning for. These are the genres she chose: opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, music soundtrack and TV themes, 1980s, the 1990s, and the 2000s. We're going to spin it and find out what she gets for week 2 genre. Yes. Kennedy Miller, you've got Broadway and musicals. Our next singer that we're spinning the wheel for is Renee Turcotte. She put these genres in to choose from: the 1990s, the 2000s, movie soundtracks and TV themes, the Grammys, R&B and hip hop, opera and arias, and Broadway and musicals. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel for week number 2. Renee, you got the 2000s. All right, now we are spinning for James Bueller. This is what he gave us for his week 2 genre picks. So he might get opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, classic rock, alternative and grunge, movie soundtrack and TV themes, or the 1950s. Let's spin and see what he ends up with. Yes, James Bueller, you have classic rock. This is what we're choosing for Maya Place. This is what she submitted: was some opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, country, classic rock, the 1990s, the 2000s, and the Grammys. Let's spin and see what she's going to sing for her week 2 genre piece. Whoa, classic rock. All right, Maya, you have classic rock for week 2. All right, now we're going to choose what Miranda Longacre is going to sing for week number 2. This is what she submitted. She submitted opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, R&B and hip hop, jazz and blues, the Great American Songbook, 1950s and 1960s. We're going to roll and see what she ended up with for the week 2 genre piece. Miranda Longacre, you ended up with opera and arias. All right, we are going to pick for our next singer. This is Lisa Johnson, part of Miriam's team, and these are the genres she gave us to choose from. She is R&B and hip hop, jazz and blues, the 1960s, the 1980s, the 1990s, and the 2000s. All right, let's see what Lisa Johnson ends up with. Lisa, you ended up with the 1960s. All right, you got 24 hours to choose with your coach, with Coach Miriam. Here comes Team Chris. All right, so now we are choosing what the week 2 genre is going to be for Camille Gomez. Camille Gomez entered these genres for her picks. It could have come from opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, jazz and blues, alternative and grunge, 1990s, 2000s, and rockabilly. All right, let's spin it and see what she ends up with for her week 2 genre. Oh, yes, Camille, you have chosen the 1990s. The 1990s for your week 2 genre. All right, now we're going to choose for Monique McNeely. She registered these genres: opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, jazz and blues, country, the Grammys, music legends and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or movie soundtrack and TV themes. Let's see what Monique is going to end up with for round 2. Let's see what Monique is going to end up with for week 2. Well, Monique, you got opera and arias. Great job. The next singer that we are spinning for is Tamika Devant. And this is what she chose. Her genres are opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, R&B and hip hop, the Grammys, movie soundtrack and TV themes, 1990s, and gospel. Let's spin away. Here is your week 2 genre. Tamika, you got R&B and hip hop. Oh, yes, you have 24 hours to choose with your coach what you are. So the next singer that we are spinning the wheel for to find out the week 2 genres is Mindy Lancaster. And Mindy chose opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, Great American Songbook, jazz and blues, movie soundtracks and TV themes, the 1950s, the 1930s, and the 1940s. Let's spin and see what she is going to end up with. Here's for week 2. Mindy Lancaster, what are you going to do? Mindy, you got movie soundtracks and TV themes. Great job. You have 24 hours to choose. You have movie. All right, the next singer that we are spinning for is Chris Hoffman. And Chris Hoffman, when he turned in his genres, these are the ones he wanted us to choose for him. Can it be opera and arias? Is it going to be Broadway and musicals? Is it going to be 1990s? The Great American Songbook, music legends and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 1960s or the 2000s? Let's spin and find out. This is for week 2 genres. Woo-hoo! Chris, you got the 2000s. Great job. You have 24 hours to pick your song with Chris, your coach. All right, the next singer that we are spinning for is Valerice Bell. And the choices that she gave us that she wanted us to spin from was opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, jazz and blues, movie soundtrack and TV themes, R&B and hip hop, music legends and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or the 1980s. Here we go. Let's find out what Valerice is going to have for week 2. And Valerice's week 2 is movie soundtrack and TV themes. And it's time to start spinning for Team Tommy. All right, the next singer that we are spinning for is Mark Deal. Mark Deal's choices that he chose was R&B and hip hop, 2000s, the 2010s to current, 1990s, the 1980s, and the Grammys. Here we go. Good luck. Mark Teal, you got the Grammys. This is any song that was either Grammy awarded or also nominated. It can also be on an album that has been nominated or a movie that has been nominated. So great. All right. So now we are picking for Corrine Beckman. Corrine gave us these genres to choose from: opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, jazz and blues, Great American Songbook, the 1950s, the 1970s, and pop. Here we go. Let's spin away and find out what her week 2 genre is going to be. Corrine Beckman, you got Broadway and musicals. So this can be anything that is a Broadway musical or just a musical. It could be a movie musical. It could be any musical. Great job, Corrine. The next person that we're pulling for is Rebecca Washburn. Here are her genres that she chose. Is it going to be Music Legends and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Opera and Arias, Broadway and musicals, classic rock, movie soundtrack and TV themes, 1960s or 1980s? Here we go. Oh, yes. Rebecca Washburn, you got Opera and Arias. Great job. All right, our next singer that we are spinning the wheel for to find out their week 2 genre is Taylon Lewis. All right, Taylon chose R&B and hip hop, country, jazz and blues, classic rock, Music Legends and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the year 2000s. Here we go, spinning right now. What will Taylon get for the week 2 genre? Oh, yes, Taylon. Taylon, you're getting Music Legends and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You have 24 hours to choose with your coach. All right, our next singer is Garvando Hamilton. Let's bring up his choices of what his favorite genres are of his top 6. Here we go. So Garvando chose R&B and hip hop, the Grammys, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, and reggae. Let's see what Garvando's going to end up with for the week song, the week 2 genre. The week 2 genre song. Whoa, Garvando, you got the 1990s. Good job, my friend. 1990s. You're going to get with your coach. You have 24 hours to get with your coach and choose your selection. All right, our next singer that we are choosing the genre piece for is Diane Spicer. And Diane Spicer put a bunch of them in. She actually went over 6. We asked for a minimum of 6. Some people put in 7 genres. And she put in opera and arias, Broadway and musicals, Great American Songbook, movie soundtracks and TV themes, 1980s, 1990s, and the year 2000. Let's spin away. This is for week number 2. Diane Spicer, you got movie soundtracks and TV themes. Great job. Thank you guys so much. I hope you had a lot of fun finding out about the genres, and it's going to be a blast this week. Remember, get with your coach and everything. Have an open mind. Now, your coach cannot force you into a song. They can help you with your suggestions. However, they can tell you that they don't like a song. don't get offended about it. Remember, we're trying to build world champions here. So they're going to try to help you find a song too that also fits great with the world finals and help you on your quest to become the next karaoke world champion. Remember to tune in for the Karaoke World Championships Keep on Singing program. Week 1 results on Tuesday night, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. You can catch that on twitch.tv/KWCUSA or on the KWCUSA.com website, or also on our YouTube channel, our KWCUSA YouTube channel. We will see you then, everyone. Take care. All right. So that was a lot of fun. And if you see, I'm way better live than I am recorded. And yeah, I would like to make corrections. So Diane actually did put in 6 genres. Like I said, I thought the genre piece of Broadway and musicals were separate from arias and opera. But that was my bad because I was really tired. So while making all of this, that was a lot of fun. So now if you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up or your coaches up if you have any questions about the genre, about anything that you're like, hey, does this work? There are things that, like, if you had a year and it's like 1990s or 2000s and there was a remake of a song that was in the 80s, that would still apply. So that still works. Again, if you have arias and operas, you can do a Broadway or a musical thing. If you have Broadway and musicals, you want to do opera, you can do that as well. But feel free to ask questions. It is not a bad thing to ask questions, because there were some genres that in the past have caused some issues. So we always want to just clear it up right away. And we also just really want to help you out. What else is it going to say? So you have 24 hours. Tomorrow, you want to get your stuff in by noon tomorrow, Pacific time. So it's just going to be pretty much 24 and a half hours from now. And I had a blast doing this. Also next week, when we pick the genres, the genre you had this week will be off the board. So that means if you have arias and operas, then next week we will not have that, as well as the Broadway and musicals, because that's all one genre piece, but it will not be there. If you have 1990s, it won't be there. If you have classic rock, it's not going to be there next week. And we're just going to keep moving on. 2000s is really 2000s to 2000s to 2000 current. Let me go and just double check. It's to 2010. Yeah, 2000s to 2010, because the 2010 is 2010 to current. Each one's a decade. So thank you, my lovely and talented producer over here, corrected. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the support and everything. If you saw, we only did have 26 people out of the 28 in that list. We did have some people who, because of work and life and things like that, they just couldn't move on and continue, and they really wanted to. And we wish them the best luck. We really hope to see them again next year, and we hope that they keep watching and rooting on their teams. Don't hesitate to ask your coach if there's something that you really need from your coach. Like if you need one-on-ones or you need something that you're unclear about, ask them. They're not going to, it's always ask them. Don't be scared to ask. The team building, I'm watching all of you guys really grow and really connect with your coaches. So it's really awesome. But that is it for the genre piece. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can also write us at KWCTeamUSA@gmail. Tuesday is the show where we will show everything from last week, and we bring the coaches and also the guest judge on and show your pieces. So, and then from there at 4:30 Pacific. I'm exhausted. I was up until 4. So maybe even later than that. So yeah, Tuesday, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. And it's going to be a great show. But from there, we are going to be cutting the bottom 2 off of each team, unless the team had someone already leave. And then they'd just be losing one. But break a leg, everyone. Take care. And time to get with your coaches. Now, if they don't respond, that might be, it's also Sunday and Labor Day weekend, so they might not be up yet. So please remember that. Bye, everyone.